This machine claims it can replace pretty much all of my crafting machines. This is the xTool M1 Ultra. It is a laser, a cutting machine, an inkjet printer that can print on hard surfaces, an embossing machine, a hot quill, and it can even write and draw with pens. This sounds amazing, but is it really? So let's put it to the test. I thought I'd actually make 4 real projects with it using as many of the tools as I can and see what it's actually good at. Some things genuinely impressed me and others, yeah, we need to talk about it. I wanted to start with something simple, stickers. So I designed a little spring sticker sheet, and for this I used the printer head and the fine point blade. And honestly, I thought this would be an easy win. Well, not that easy apparently. At first I messed up the settings and it made this crazy feathered effect, but when I turned down the intensity from 100 to 60, the result was better, although still not quite satisfying. I then changed to a better paper and it improved the quality a fair bit. But to be honest, I still find the quality lacking. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but in real life, you can clearly see the individual ink dots and the colors are just not as vibrant as I'd like. So yeah, not super convinced by the printer, at least on glossy sticker paper. But the cutting, so good. It was super easy to do a quick grid test to find the right settings, and once that was done, perfect kiss cuts. I first tried on the first paper that's bad quality and messed up, but honesty, I blame the paper. And I have to say, the whole process just feels really smooth. Everything is easy, nothing feels clunky, and the electrostatic mat, genius. I hate the sticky mats on most cutting machines. This completely solves that problem. It holds your paper in place by pressing one button and releases it as easily. So, for stickers, printing? Not my favorite. Cutting? Absolutely, yes. Okay, but I wasn't ready to give up on the printer just yet, so I wanted to give it another chance. This time with shrink plastic by making a cute charm of a straw bunny. Get it? He's a bunny dressed as a strawberry. My thinking was once it shrinks, the ink dots might not be visible anymore. Great idea in theory, in practice, not so much. The glossy side was too glossy. The ink just wouldn't dry properly and the matte side didn't look great either. So I started experimenting. I ended up finding a weird little workaround. If I painted the glossy side first, the ink would actually stick to it and dry properly. So that solved one problem. For the back, I used the drawing tool to add line details on top. I then cut everything, popped it in the oven, watched it shrink, which is always satisfying, added a layer of UV resin, and turned it into a little charm. I love how this turned out. But even after all that, I'm still not quite convinced by the printer quality and vibrancy. I feel like I just haven't found the right use for it yet, or the right settings. To be honest, this tool is actually meant to print on surfaces you can't put in a normal printer, like wood, not glossy white paper. And this was exactly the problem. I have to admit, I was doubtful about inkjet printing on wood, but I stand corrected. I was so convinced it couldn't work that I tried by painting the wood white first, thinking it'd look better, but the engineer knew better. On the prints directly on the wood itself, the colors are vibrant and you can't see the ink dots anymore. It actually looks way better than I thought possible. Next, I wanted to try something I was very excited about: foil. If you've been following me for a while, you already know. I'm obsessed. I will try to foil anything and everything. But usually machines only use an embossing tool that uses pressure to foil, which gives an uneven result that doesn't last in time. This one, it has the embossing tool, yes, but also it has an actual hot foil tool, and not just one, 3 different sizes. So I had an idea. I wanted to emboss an illustration into a notebook cover and then frame it with foil. And this is where things got really interesting. I made my design in Procreate, and normally turning that into something a machine can draw properly is a bit of a pain. But here, in literally 2 clicks, the software converted my drawing into a clean 1-line path, which made the embossing process super easy. So I let the machine do its thing, then added the foil and swapped the tool to the hot foil quill. And a few minutes later, this was the result. And I love it. From far away, you mostly see the foil, which already looks amazing on its own. But when you get closer, you start seeing all the embossed details underneath. It's subtle, but also really intricate at the same time. Honestly, this one's a big win. Then I thought I could use a ribbon claw to attach the charm we just made to the spine, and I can't get over how cute this looks. I mean, look at this. I made all of this so quickly. It is stuff like that that make me want to reopen my online store and sell physical products I make myself. Finally, I tested the laser, which is a tool that opens up a lot of possibilities. So I made a coaster for my morning matcha. I used the honeycomb bed that comes with the riser, which I really like because it has little magnetic holders to keep everything in place. I then set up the design and pressed start. And just let it do its thing. And a few minutes later, done. Super clean, super cute. And one thing I was really curious about was the air purifier, because usually laser equals smell. But with this, nothing, which is kind of insane. The only downside is that it's a bit loud. But it turns on and off automatically with the laser, so you don't really have to think about it. Then I just did a bit of sanding, sealed it with hard wax oil since I'm actually going to use it. And for the final touch, I cut a piece of cork for the bottom using the cutting blade. And that's it. Honestly, this part, flawless. I was already excited each morning for my matcha, but even more now. There is so much you can do with this machine that it'd be quicker to list what you can't do with it. I feel like I've barely scratched the surface with this thing. Like with the laser alone, you can do so much. I also made this tiny airplane for my son using a free file from the xTool community. I literally just found a design I liked, selected my machine, it opened directly in the software, I pressed start, done. So can this machine replace all my other ones? Honestly, that's not even how I see it anymore. It doesn't replace everything, but it completes my setup in a way that genuinely surprised me. Like, yes, I'll still use my regular printer, but this, it does things my other machines can't do. And more than that, everything in this machine just feels so well thought out. You can tell they really designed it for how people actually use it. There's no friction, nothing feels annoying or complicated. It's just easy. Even small details, like the work surface with only 2 screws and a place to put them so you don't lose them. It is easy to go from cutting to engraving to foiling, or the toolbox with everything neatly organized. It's the kind of stuff that sounds small, but it makes the whole experience so much better. And honestly, I didn't even test everything. Not even close. This machine can do so much, it actually feels kind of infinite. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. I love it. Like, I really love it, to the point where I'm almost scared people are going to think I'm just saying that because it's a collaboration, but I'm genuinely not. It's just really, really good. I still want to test one thing that I feel like could be insane. I will try to print on the foredge. And if that works, I think it might actually blow my mind. So I'm going to test that in my next video. One tool I haven't used yet is the rotary blade. Do you have any ideas of what I could do with it? Well, thanks for watching until now. Take good care of you. I'll see you in the next one.